Zuma has got a name in society for himself. At least he's got support now. Why is he not having a party called it Zuma Maibuye? We have something like that. I mean, why is he taking our stuff? I mean, he's got a name for himself. He can prove at least support. Unlike people who speak from outside, they've never tested their support. He's got support. Makabene party yaka ibize ZM, Zuma Maibuye party. That will be fine. The ANC will never go there. Will never go there. You call it Umkhonto Wesizwe. That is our heritage. We will fight for it and then bring it home. And that's what we are doing. Gauteng, it's a myth, Samkel. It's a myth that Gauteng has a different position from national. Let me repeat again. It's a myth, actually. We adopted a framework to engage with everybody throughout the country. Gauteng was affected because we did not win outright majority. Gauteng goes through the mandate of national to engage with everybody, including the DA. The reason Panyaza was elected to become the mayor unopposed is because all political parties in the legislature agreed that the premier will come from the ANC, the speaker will come from the ANC, the deputy speaker from the DA. That was done. Now we moved to the second phase. The deputy speaker here in Gauteng was DA before they withdrew. Remember, when we discussed with the DA, they said to us, we reserve the right to go back to the benches if we don't agree with you. And we eventually agreed with them on GNU. They said no to us. We are for multi-party, but we were looking for a grand coalition. We said we don't want a grand coalition. We rejected the grand coalition. For the DA, we rejected the grand coalition. For the EFF, we rejected, I don't know what Zuma wanted till today. So I can't talk about it. All what I know is that he wanted something. I don't know what is that. Up until he pronounced it what he wanted in the context of 29th outcome of the election, he's yet to explain that. The IFP also moved in that particular direction of the Grand Coalition. So we said we don't want Grand Coalition, we engage. We said we want a GNU, Government of National Unity, of all political parties participating in that. We did not agree. We went back and forth and so on. We talked about all the models, but we then agreed on that. So we said provinces will negotiate on their own. And that is what ensued with Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. So there was never a position that says, in our province, Gauteng, we will not work with the DA. The negotiations with the DA collapsed when we could not agree on the GNU. Helen Zille came with his people, and I came with the ANC. We negotiated. We left our people, negotiating team. Helen Zille said, I'm not going out, because in the DA, everything is around me. And then they sat there, and then they negotiated. They could not agree. The DA, in terms of the modalities of cabinet, they wanted 5-5 between the ANC and them, and then 2 from these 5 must go to the opposition. That is Zille's definition of proportionality. We said, no, we don't agree with that. It's not Gauteng. I took that as the leader of the negotiating team to the officials of the ANC. I reported. And then Gauteng was there when we reported back. We got a mandate that we must move ahead. But even the option of the minority government that we've got, it is not without its fragility. We went into it like we went into GNU. And it does not mean that if we are confronted with those threats and challenges and risks, we can't mitigate or find our way around them. Every option have got its own challenges. Now, the myth and the overemphasis that Gauteng rejected the DA is not true. It's not true. It's not true. It's a perception that has been entrenched. I was with Panyaza in this platform. I explained the same thing. He was wearing Chris Hani t-shirt, which now has been explained what it means. I don't know what it means up until today. But I know that Chris Hani was our commander. And so I just wanted to understand where was the message going. Maybe such messages could be entrenching that members of the ANC across and everywhere else, when we talk DA and the GNU, they did not settle well with them. That's why we had to go and convene extended meetings to engage with them. And we did that. We are a big party. You don't think of ANC members as agreeing with something that they don't understand. As we get down to them and explain to them the GNU, how it functions, what is going to happen, they understood. And it doesn't end with the extended meetings. It's going to go down and down to the structures explained to comrades, because there are others who still distort it with insurrectionary phrase-mongering. Sell out. This leadership is selling us out to the DA. No substance to it. And they work with the DA and all of that. And then they don't say, who should you work with? And then if they say we must work with Zuma, we don't know what Zuma stands for. And then if they say what we must work with EFF, we know those flip-floppers, where they actually stand. Where do they actually stand? Because today they will be with the DA, tomorrow they will be with something else. Now, they want to become astute ideological proponents of what is progressive through their leader. You know, they are very inconsistent. They cannot be trusted. They change overnight. And they run governments on the basis of threats. We want stability for this country. We don't want anarchy. Over and above everything else, we want stability. We don't want people, when they come into this country, they see something that they don't know what it is. That is the interest of the ANC. The interest of the ANC are for this country first. We will never run down South Africa simply because we believe in self-interest. And even if it can lead to running this economy and this country down to become something else, we will not agree to that. We can't be told by a party that have said that the primary objective of this election is to get rid of the ANC, including working with the DA. Now, when we talk to the DA, it is, with the ANC. They say, no, we don't want you combined. We want you, ANC, to come with us so that you die in our hands. That's what they say. But you are here. You are everywhere. You are in social media. You know what EFF have said and what they stand for. So what is this newfound love and definition that the ANC can work with them? We wanted them here in the port with everybody in the GNU. We wanted them here in the port. Let them come and argue with us that Floyd must become Minister of Finance. Maybe we could have given to him. We don't know. But they didn't want to come to the port. They wanted their own arrangement. They wanted a marriage. We didn't want. We didn't want a marriage of the EFF, DA, Zuma, or anybody. We wanted a get-together of everyone. Simply explained, that is what we wanted to do. So Gauteng disabused this myth that Gauteng stood alone, it had a position on its own. That position where they are now, in terms of what Panyaza is leading and the collective, it's a position of the ANC. national and provincial. And I'm repeating it, it's a position of the ANC. The president knows about it. The entire officials knows about it. The National Executive Committee knows about it, as we briefed them the past weekend. No dissent on it. There's nobody who said in the NEC, no, SG, that is not true. Tina, we don't want DA. GNU, as much as there were reservations about it, was announced as a position of the ANC after a National Executive Committee meeting by its president. Not even by the SG, by the president, in the presence of the NEC. We ran with it in the context of negotiations and engaged with political parties who have come to appreciate it and embrace it. And they are not stepchildren in this GNU. It doesn't mean that they are going to change their identity and become something else. Helen Zille can say everything you want to say every day. I've got no responsibility to be running after her. My job and the job of the ANC is to live up to the expectation of the people in terms of our commitments to the election and what we said we'll do in terms of our manifesto. Not to run after the DA or anybody who's in the GNU and all of that. It's not our job.